Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to the kind of finale to the Stone Cold Hockey thing. We have 32 teams representing 32 different years of action. We have sub years being represented well more than others. So, anyway, so this is how the seedings came to be. There were five Stanley. Everyone from 1 to 5 won a Stanley Cup championship in real life and also in the inter-team tournament. The 94 Canucks were the only Stanley Cup finalists, like the team that didn't win the Stanley Cup but went to the finals, that will represent their franchise. Whereas there were five franchises from 7 to 11 that their teams are represented by teams that lost in the semifinals / conference finals. There were 6 quarterfinals / second round losers in Stanley Cup quarterfinals. 6 of them lost in the quarterfinals from 12 to 17. Teams from 18 to 27 lost in the first round of the playoffs, and teams 28 to 32 did not even make the playoffs. So anyway, that's that. So Dice Roll actually decided some teams. One of the most prominent uses of the Dice Roll that did not happen, well, the 10 first round teams, I decided from 18 to 27, it's like teams that are there but lost in the first round but were memorable. So the more memorable you are by alphabet, the more likely you're going to get into the tournament. And the 5 Stanley Cup finalists were basically based on how many games they did. The 06 Canes took 7 games to win the Stanley Cup finals, so they were number 5. 35 Philly and 22 Colorado both took 6. So they were 3-4, and the 75 Flyers went on that merit. The 84 Oilers are the 1 seed because they and Vegas both 1 and 5, but the 84 Oilers were the better team. So we go from that. Alright, so we're gonna just go here, I think. So everything will be best of 5 until the semifinals, where we go best of 7. Alright, so best of 5. Here are the matchups. The 94 Ducks take on the 84 Oilers. The 22 Jackets take on the 23 Knights. The 23 Sabres take on the 75 Flyers. The 06 Coyotes take on the 22 Avalanche. The 23 Caps take on the 06 Canes. The 22 Wild take on the 94 Canucks. The 23 Jets take on the 75 Islanders. The 22 Panthers take on the 94 Devils. The 06 Stars against the 2012 Rangers. The 06 Predators against the 75 Canadiens. The 71 Leafs against the 06 Sharks. The 23 Lightning against the 75 Penguins. The 06 Red Wings against the 22 Blues. The 91 Blackhawks against the 23 Kraken. The 23 Bruins against the 06 Senators. And the 22 Flames against the 75 Kings. So 1 per franchise. They all won their interconference championship. So here we go. Game 1. First one, Edmonton. They win 6-3. Big win. Moog beats Hebert. Anaheim goes by Sean Hill, Joe Sacco, and Sean Van Allen. Edmonton goes by Kevin Lowe, Pat Hughes, Paul Coffey, Kitchener, Mark Messier, Dave Hunter, and Wally Lindstrom. So, yeah. Great job at that. So 6-3. Game 1 of Philly Buffalo saw Buffalo with the upset, 3-2 in overtime. As Eric Comrie beats Bernie Perrant. Philly goes by Moose Dupont and Reggie Leach. But Peyton Krebs and Kitchener's Jeff Skinner with a goal. Skinner in overtime from Jogi Harju and Krebs. So Jeff Skinner giving Kitchener 2 goals in that game. Nice. The 06 Kings win Game 1 in their series 4-1. Gerber beats Kemper. Washington goal by Milano. Carolina by Ray Whitney, Kevin Adams, Eric Stahl, and Rod Brindamore. The 75 Islanders win 4-2 over Winnipeg. Billy Smith beats Hellebuck. Winnipeg goes by Dylan DeMello and Josh Morrissey. 75 goes by Bob Bourne, Clark Gillies, Bob Bourne again, and then Jerry Horwat. The 2012 Rangers win shutout 3-0. Lundqvist shuts out Turco. Jeff Wojcicka, Marian Gaborik, and Brad Richards with the goal for the 2012 Rangers. The Ulster Sharks went in overtime 5-4 to back up his Perrant. 31 Leafs, Guy Trottier, Dave Keon, Daryl Sittler, and Dave Keon scoring. Sharks, Joe Forden, Niels Ekman, Alan McCauley, and Garrett Stevenson. And in overtime at 1:45, the Choo Choo Train from Patty Marlowe. The 22 Blues beat the 06 Wings 4-3 as Binghamton beat Legacy. St. Louis goals by Tarasenko, Kelly Rosen, Ivan Barbashev, and Brown. Detroit goals by Thomas Holstrom, Hedrick Sudberg, and Matt Schneider. The 06 Senators win in overtime over the 23 Bruins 4-3. Morrison beats Swayman. Mike Morrison does that. Boston goals by Charlie McAvoy, David Krejci, and Pavel Saka. Ottawa goals by Daniel Evertson with 2 Patrick Eves, and in overtime with McAvoy in the box, Mike Fisher from Wade Redden. Meanwhile, the 75 Kings with the 5-1 win. Florida lost to Vachon. Matthew Tkachuk for Calgary, but LA goals by Mike Murphy, Bob Burdock, Tommy Williams, UL Whitting, and Bobby Nevin. The 91 Hawks go to Seattle win 5-1. Belfort beats Grubauer. Seattle goal by Tolvin, and 91 goals by Steve Larmer. Larmer with a hat trick. Michel Goulet and Dirk Graham. So Larmer doing his job with a hat trick. The 35 Penguins win 7-3 in Game 1 of their series. Gary Innes beats Vasilevsky. Tampa goals by Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov, and Alex Killorn. 2 goals by Vic Hatfield for the 75 team. Ron Stackhouse, Barry Wilkins, Pierre LaRouche, Lowell McDonald, and Rick Kehoe. These 06 Predators with the big upset in overtime in Montreal as Pekka Rinne beats Benny Larocque. Montreal was up 2-0, 2 goals by Jacques Lemaire, but Scott Hartnell and Steve Sullivan scored in regulation for Nashville, and Martin Erat in overtime at 5:26 from Timanen. The 94 Devils win 6-2 as Bobrovsky lost to Chris Terreri. Florida goals by Barkov and Montour. 94 Devils, Brady McKay, Bob Carpenter, Stefan Richer, Tom Shorsky, and then Richer with 2 more goals in the third period for a hat trick. The 22 Wild with the upset over the 94 Canucks in Game 1 in overtime. Kirk McLean losing to Cam Talbot. Vancouver goals by Sergio Monesso, Pavel Bure, and Cliff Ronnie. Joe Eriksson Ek, Kirill Kaprizov, and Matt Baldy for the Wild. But in overtime at 4:40, it was Marcus Foligno from Kaprizov and Ben. JB Ben, that is. No, Jordy Ben, sorry. The Avalanche beat the Coyotes in overtime. Kemper beats Cujo. 06 Phoenix. Paul Mera, Jeff Sanderson, Steven Reinprecht, and Sanderson again. Good job by Sanderson. But Landeskog, Kitchener, Makar, Nikushin, and Comfort. Overtime, Newhook after Sean O'Donnell was in the box from Kadri, the other Kitchener Ranger on this team, and Baya. And Game 1 of the other series, Vegas beats Columbus 3-2. Laurent Brossoit beats Merskins. Columbus goes by Boone Jenner and Benstrom. Vegas goes by Mark Stone, Matt Amadeo, and Zach Whitecloud. Game 2's Philly-Buffalo will start, and it will be Buffalo now taking a 2-0 series lead on the 75 Flyers. 6-5, Luke Kinnan beats Perron. Philly goes by Don Zaleski, Russ Lonsberry, Reggie Leach, Rick McLeish, and Bobby Clark. Buffalo goes Tage Thompson, Paterka, Jeff Skinner, Kitchener, Alex Tuck, Tage Thompson again, and Alex Tuck. So, great job by Buffalo. They're up 6-1 and they managed to survive. Carolina's now 2-0 up on their series. 2-1, Gerber beats Kemper. Ovechkin scored for Washington, but Carolina goes by Eric Stahl and Mike Commodore. Meanwhile, the 75 Islanders are won 8-0. Chico Resch takes down David Rittich. Ron Stewart, Jude Drouin, Danny Potvin, Ron Stewart again, Ed Westfall, Billy McMillan, Clark Gillies, and Bob Bourne are your goal scorers for the 75 Islanders. The 2012 Rangers lose Game 2, 3-1, as Hedberg beats Perron. Callahan, the only goal for the Rangers, Nico Kapanen, Subov, and Modano for the 06 Stars. That's 1-1. Edmonton now up 2-0, beating the Ducks. Moog beats Habert. Anaheim goes by Kasatonov, Sacco, and Yake. 84 Oilers. Kevin McClellan, Glenn Anderson, there's Wayne Gretzky, Paul Coffey, Kitchener. Paul Coffey, his second goal of the game. Yuri Curry and Mark Messier. So Coffey looking pretty good. And very confident. The 06 Sharks are now at 2-0 as Toskala beats Plant. So anyway, Leafs, Joey Monahan, Paul Henderson, and Normie Ullman. The Sharks, Johnny Vichichi, Milan Mahalik, Stevenson, and then Patty Marleau with the empty netter. The 06 Red Wings have tied their series with St. Louis. Legacy beats Husso. Pareko for St. Louis. Detroit goes by Schneider, Zetterberg, Datsuk, Shanny, and Yzerman. 23 Boston is now 1-1 as Olmark got the shutout over Hasek. Pasternak with 2 goals. Patrice Bergeron with the other. The 22 Flames are now 1-1 as Markstrom with the shutout over Fashon. Goudreau, Coleman, and Tanev. The Kraken with the shutout to tie that series. Martin Jones beats Belfour. Borkstrad, Beignets, and Burakovsky. Burakovsky playing for the Kraken? Okay. Tampa ties up with Pittsburgh. Brian Elliott, 4.985, beats Plas. 75 Pittsburgh, Pierre LaRouche, Ron Stackhouse, Rick Kehoe, and Vic Hadfield. 23 team, Braden Point again. Point with the with the hat trick. Nick Paul, Steven Stamkos, Alex Killorn, and then Pierre Edward Bellemare with that empty netter. The 75 Habs tied their series 1-1 as Dryden takes down Foucault. Nashville goes by Jeremy Stevenson, Martin Erat, and Martin Erat again. 75 Habs, Guy Lafleur, Yvan Lambert, Guy Lapointe, Pierre Mahovlich, and Steve Shett. 5 different maiden goal scorers, if you will. Florida's 1-1 now as Bobrovsky beats Sidorkowicz. 22 Panthers, Mammon, Reinhardt, Marchment, Verhage, Louis Steinen, and Sam Bennett. Mason Marchment, baby. Devils goes by Jim Dowd, Bobby Holik, and Bernie Nichols. Vancouver ties their series 1-1. McLean beats Cam Talbot. Ryan Hartman for Minnesota, but Vancouver goes by Sergio Momesso, Pavel Bure, and Greg Adams. That's all. Phoenix ties it up with Colorado 1-1 in overtime. Cujo beats Kemper. Phoenix, Boyd Devereaux, Kitchener. So the 06 Coyotes have a Kitchener native. I forgot Boyd Devereaux. Mike Ricci and Paul Mera in regulation. Guess what? Kitchener's Gabe Landeskog scored with Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen. Overtime for Phoenix. Jeff Sanderson, his third from Boyd Devereaux, good old Kitchener boy, and Mike Ricci. And the other game 2 sees Vegas up 2-0. Quick beats Corpusalo. Columbus go by Voracek, but Riley Smith, William Carrier, Alec Martinez, and Mark Stone scored for Vegas. Game 3's 06 Carolina. They sweep 1-0. Gerber beats Kemper. Eric Stahl his third. So 06 Carolina, no big surprise. They sweep. 75 Islanders, they don't. Winnipeg will force a game 4. Rittich beats Resch. 75 Islanders, Bourne, Henny, and Gillies. 23 Jets, Connor, Perfetti, DeMello, Blake Wheeler, Lowry, and then Kyle Connor to ice it. 06 Sharks, do they sweep? No, they don't. The Leafs keep going. Perrant beats Nabokov. Chichu did score his third goal of the playoffs in the second, but Toronto goals Norm Ullman, Guy Trottier, Ron Ellis, and Billy McMillan. Vegas, do they sweep? No, they don't. Columbus with a shutout. Mersklin's over Quick. Sillinger, Nyquist, Wierenski, and Laney. Scoring for Columbus. 23 Sabres, do they sweep? No, they don't. They lose 2-1 as Brady Perrant beats Devin Levi. Buffalo did score Rasmus Dahlin, but Bill Barber, Kitchener, and Bill Clement for the Flyers. Now, 84 Oilers, do they sweep? The answer is yes, they do. 6-4 as Fuhr beats Hebert. Ducks were up 4-1. Sacco, Corkum, Sacco, and the Falk looked good, but Edmonton came back with 5 Curry. But then Gretzky, Coffey, Kitchener, Linzman, and Pat Hughes doing the job. So Paul Coffey 4 goals in that series. 84 Oilers are in. Okay. Rangers Dallas. It will be Dallas with the 2-1 series lead. Turco beats Lundqvist. Brad Richards did score for the Rangers, but Dallas goals by Mike Modano and Yuri Leptinen. Detroit will have the 2-1 series lead, 2-1. Osgood beats Husso. David Perron for St. Louis. Detroit goals by Brandon Shanahan and Johan Franzen. Boston beats Ottawa 4-1. Omar Bitashik. Ottawa go by Danny Heatley. Boston goes by Brandon Carlo, Jake DeBrus, Charlie Coyle, and Pavel Saka. Calgary beats LA 4-1. Markstrom beats Vachon. Dan Maloney with the only goal for the Kings. Johnny Gaudreau with 2 goals for the Flames. Blake Coleman and Sean Monahan doing their job. Chicago is now up 2-1 in their series. Belfort beats Jones. Jaden Schwartz the only goal for Seattle. Chicago goals by Mike Hudson, Michel Goulet, and then Steve Larmer with 2 for 5. 75 Penguins win in overtime. Innes beats Vasilevsky. Tampa goals. Braden Point's now got 2. He's 6 goals in 3 games. Vic Hadfield, Sillaps Jr., and in overtime, Pierre LaRouche from McNamara. Montreal beats Nashville 6-2. Dryden beats Mason. Mark Eden and Scott Walker for Nashville. Montreal goes by Yvonne Lambert, Glenn Saver. Forgot he played for them. Jacques Lemaire, Murray Wilson, Jacques Lemaire again, and P.E. Mahavlich. Florida with the overtime heroics. Bobrovsky beats Brodeur. Devil goals by Stefan Richer, Bobby Carpenter, and Bill Guerin. Florida goes by Brandon Montour, Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart, Jonathan Huberdeau, and then in overtime, Gudas from Duclair. 22 Minnesota wins 5-4. They're up 2-1. Fleury beats McLean. Vancouver, 4 goals. Cliff Ronning with a hat trick for 4. Jyrki Lume. Minnesota goals. Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, Hartman, Spurgeon, and then Hartman his second of the night. And Phoenix will be up 2-1 in their series. Cujo beats Kemper. Colorado goals by Landeskog, Kitchener, and Nikushin. Phoenix goals by Doan, Sanderson again, and then Mike Johnson. Game 4, 23 Buffalo. Do they win? Yes, they do. They upset the 75 Flyers. Big win for them, 4-3. Anderson beats Perrot. Philly goals by Dave Schultz, Bobby Clark, and Tom Bladen. 23 Sabres, Dylan Cousins, Alex Tuck. Dylan Cousins with the hat trick. And the 23 Sabres with the big upset. They will probably face the Oilers because, well, everything recedes. Because if Vegas wins Game 4 or 5, then Buffalo faces the lowest ranked team. 75 Islanders win on the road. Resch beats British. Winnipeg goes by Stenland, DeMello, and Dubois. Islander goes by Danny Plothan, Jerry Harrat, Bob Nystrom, and Billy Harris. So the Islanders are in. No upset there. The 7 seed wins that one. 06 Dallas will win, upsetting the number 9 seed New York Rangers. So 06 Dallas, Turco beats Lundqvist. Galbraith and Callahan for the Rangers, but they gave up 3 goals in the third period. Mike Modano with 2 of them, and Philippe Boucher the other one. So that's an upset. San Jose will not win. Toronto wins again, 5-1. Plonk beats Novakov. Stevenson is third for the Sharks. The Leafs, Elvis, McMillan, Keon, Lay, and McMillan again. So we have 1-2-2 series. 06 Detroit with the upset, well, the seeding upset over the 22 Blues as Osgood beats Husso. St. Louis did score Brandon Saad and Barbashev, but Detroit goes by Shanny Williams, that's Jason Williams, not Justin, and Thomas Holstrom. Boston will win game 4, 6-3, so kind of an upset, if you will. Olmark beats Hasek. Ottawa goals by Peter Schaefer, Vlaclav Ferrata, and Andre Massaro. 23 Bruins, their 6 goals. Marchand, Bergeron, Marchand, Coyle, Pasternak, and Garrett Hathaway. Calgary, do they win the series? Yes, they do. They beat the 75 Kings 2-1. Markstrom beats Vachon. Kozak for Kings, but Kylington and Dylan Dubé, he who should not be named in some circles, with the goals. Chicago loses on home ice, so they go back to Seattle for Game 5. Grubauer beats Belfour. Steve Larmer his 6th, but Bernier, McCann, and Finney Dunn with the goals for Seattle. 35 Pittsburgh loses Game 4. They'll go home for Game 5, though. Vasilevsky beats Innis. 75 Penguins goes Bob Kelly with 2, Lloyd McDowell with the other. Kucherov, Stamkos, Sorelli, and Braden Point his 7th. He scores that one. 75 Habs will win the series against Nashville. Big win for them. Buddy LaRock beats Chris Mason. Nashville goes by Scott Nickel and Yannick Perreault. But Larry Robinson, Kitchener, Guy Lapointe, and Guy Lafleur scoring those goals for the 75 Habs. They are in. No upset there. 22 Florida with a massive upset over number 8 New Jersey. They win in overtime. Spencer Knight beats Martin Brodeur. Devil goals by Tom Shorsky, Jim Dowd, and Claude Lemieux. Lundell, Vetrano, and Reinhardt in regulation for Florida. Overtime, Hornquist at 4:35 from Forsling. Hornquist, eh? 22 Minnesota upsets number 6 Vancouver with a 5-4 win in overtime. Talbot beats McLean. Canuck goals by Jurgen Lube, Cliff Roddy, Pavel Bure, and Pavel Bure again. Minnesota goals by Duhaime, Kaprizov, Eriksson Ek, and Hartman. Overtime, Matt Dumba 4:45 from Hartman and Kaprizov. So big upset there. Phoenix loses to Colorado, so they got to go back to Colorado for Game 5. Frank Coors beats Cujo. Sanderson and Mara scoring the goals for Phoenix. Colorado goes by Landeskog, Kitchener, Makar, Newhook, and Obe Kubel. And the 23 Knights win in 4 games. Overtime heroics. Quick beats Berube. Columbus goes by Patrick Laine and Alex Texier, but Dortberiev, Riley Smith, and then Riley Smith in overtime from Stevenson and Carlson. So that's that. Some Game 5s. 71 Toronto, can they come back from 2-0 down? The answer is no, they can't. They lose 3-2. Tosco beats Perron. Damn it. Leaf goals by Davey Keon and Paul Henderson, but the Sharks, Joe Forden, Philly Newman, and Nat Ills Ekman. So the Leafs lose. Chicago, Seattle, will we see an upset? The answer is a possible no. Seattle shocks the 91 Hawks. Grubauer beats Belfour. Goulet and Hudson, the goals for Chicago. But Seattle, Jerry McCann, Jordan Eberle, Burakovsky, Alex Wenberg, and Matty Beniers doing his job. For Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Tampa goes into Pittsburgh and wins. Vasilevsky beats Innis. Will McDonald, Vic Hatfield, Barry Wilkins, and Ron Schock for the 75 Penguins with a goal. 23 Tampa, Stamkos, Perbix, Hagel, Braden Point, and then Nick Paul. And, sorry, Braden Point now has 9 goals. Is that all? Oh no, one more game. And it's Colorado who will beat Phoenix as Kemper beats Cujo. Comrie scoring for Phoenix. But Newhook, Kadri, there's Kitchener, Lehkonen, and Rantanen doing their job for Colorado. So, we'll have the bracket. So, we have the bracket. So, Final 16, they reseed and all that. So it is actually right down the middle. 8 of the top 16 teams won, 8 lost. What a split. So anyway, that means the 23 Sabres take on the 84 Oilers. Battle of Kitchener, as Skinner will have to deal with coffee. The 22 Panthers will take on the 22 Avalanche. The 23 Lightning will face the 75 Islanders. The 23 Bruins take on the 06 Sharks. The 22 Flames take on the 23 Kraken. The 06 Red Wings take on the 75 Habs. The 06 Stars take on the 06 Canes. And the 22 Wild take on the 23 Golden Knights. So, yeah, 4 of the top 5 are still remaining, if that's what you want to look at. So, yeah, 1 per franchise, remember that. Let's look at the goal scoring. Braden Point for the 2023 Lightning with 9 goals. Steve Larmer and Jeff Sanderson both have 6, but both guys are out. Cliff Running, Vic Hadfield also with 5, but they're out. So Braden Point's got a big goal scoring lead. Points wise, Braden Point's got 11 points, 9 goals, 2 assists. The Stamkos for the 23 Lightning have 10 points. LaRouche, Larmer, Kaprizov has 9 points. He's still in. Goaltending, technically by goals against, Martin Gerber and Jacob Markstrom are both 3 and 0. So they've got to get goaltending stuff and all that. The one thing that gets me is that 75 Kings, rookie Vachon has a 2.26 goals against, and Chico Resch is 2 and 1, and he's 2.36. Also, Ken Dryden and Vincent Tosca both 2 and 0, and they have worse goals against than rookie Vachon. So yeah, highlights: 5 hat tricks: Steve Larmer, Stefan Richer, Braden Point, Cliff Ronning, and Dylan Cousins. Yeah, Cliff Ronning came in a loss. Memorable games: the top memorable game, the 84 Oilers against the 94 Ducks in Game 3, in which I guess, yeah, the Ducks were up 4-1 and choked it. 06 Phoenix and 22 Colorado. Game 1, that ended in overtime. Phoenix kind of had the lead, but didn't. Colorado, that's number 2. And number 3 on the fan duel is Game 4 between the 23 Lightning and the 75 Penguins. So I guess that's what you got to do. Come back from 2 down to win the game. So that's what we got. And take a look at the bracket. The brackets, as you see the games and how many it took and all that, that's what you got to see. Seeing is believing. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.